I'm afraid we're not going anywhere, Mr. Kelly. Not until we find out who sent you. And who sent these awesome wigs. But first, we need to find out where you came from, who sent you, and what kind of art you're interested in, huh? If you're coming to an art channel, the flavor of the week, if you will. You think things are friendly around here right now? You wait. You just don't even know what's coming your way yet, Mr. Kelly. You do not want to know what you're effing with. Do you want some water? You look a little thirsty. You know your rights. But your rights are no good here. Artists have no rights, you little bastard. It's getting pretty dark in here. It's very hot. It's over 1,000 degrees. Would you like some gum? Oh, sorry. 1 second. I didn't realize we're live. This is crazy. What? Huh? Whoa. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, everybody. But when whew, I think that sums it up. There's a song that I was writing in the middle of a sentence that I managed to ball up inside the car on the way over here. I was just trying to impress you. Well, you know what happens when that happens. Nobody gets impressed. They get angry. But not this time. This time, I just wanted to impress you with all of my heart. And I wrote a little song about it. I'm not sure if this is it or not, but I think we'll find out once I'm finished. Thank you. Everyone is a dick in a big wide world. Everyone is an echo, and that's the truth. Echoes and lyrics are paradise and dancing here between them. Wishing I was one way or the other. This is it. Little did I know, little did I think, I couldn't think no more. I only think out loud. A little more was in the swimming pool. He took a dump and I was watching, and I jumped in after him, and it was diarrhea, and oh god, it was gross. It was really gross. I'd rather not sing that song because it brings back, it triggers turds in a swimming pool. Turds in a swimming pool. Daniel, how the heck are you? Or is it Danielle? I think it's Danielle. Danielle. It just matters if how fast you talk. It's Danielle. Daniel's because it's saying Daniel. Daniel is weird to me because I have an uncle. His name is Dan. Believe it or not, his name was Dan, and so that was the first Dan that I was introduced to. But L is an angel. L. That's why it's Gabriel. All these L, you know, and so not saying Danielle is kind of you know, when you've seen bits and pieces of eternity, and then you put them in like a blender with a couple other little of old Mama's family recipes, right? Well, you put them in the blender, and then you push the button, right? You keep the lid on, otherwise it goes everywhere. That's how the universe was created. It was in a big blender, as you all know. And you just shake it up, and you go and you dance to it. You move your hips. You move your hips. Your hips are side to side, and you dance around a bit, and then you drink. And that's what they mean when they say life. It's a drink that you'll never be able to drink because it's insatiable. It's worthy of making up words for. I don't think insatiable is a word, but I think you know what I meant. I'm so stupid. Shh. Well, hello, ER. Feel better, but still lonely. Well, sometimes that never changes. But you can learn, right? You can absolutely learn. 1 second. Hold on. Oh, it's hot. What am I doing here? What are you doing here? I didn't come here. No, oh. I feel like I've just been interviewed for a job at Walmart. Did you know that I had a baby? Oh, it's right here. It's a baby. Whoa, it's not a baby. It's not a baby at all, Daniel. That was the company that I keep in my head. I've got babies. I'm a waiter. What the bloody hell was that? Terry? Yeah. Did you hear that? Yes, I did. Yeah, I wonder what it was. Why aren't you drawing? I don't. Well, I heard something, Terry. I thought somebody was breaking in. It must have been the wind. Yeah, it's the wind. Yeah. Maybe draw. That's what the show's called, right? Draw. Yeah, I don't feel like drawing right now, Terry. Right now, I'm just grateful to be drawing breath, drawing creativity from the sky, from other people's brains, even sucking it right out of their frickin' noggins and sucking it right back into mine, putting it right here. The sweet spot. This is what Chris Farley used to call it, the sweet spot. And then from there, it spouts everywhere, like diarrhea in a swimming pool, friends. And so, I like to go out and have fun when I can. I hope that answers your question. I don't think there was a question. Don't think there was a question. Hey, whoa, you are hitting gems of wisdom. Oh, is somebody saying naughty stuff? Hey, a second. What is that? That's a Tenacious D. Somebody just said Tenacious D over and over and over, and YouTube hit it or something. And I thought my tattoo was an emoji, and I was like, "What is that? A UFO?" My tattoo is not a UFO, just in case you were curious. It's a little happy face with wings. I got it to memorialize the fact that I ended my relationship with alcohol 1,300 years ago. Now, if you can say that with a straight face, I don't know what will. But William is my friend, and I'll stand by him till the bitter end. Just like you, Daniel. Just like you. All right. This is the chair that I used to conquer Africa. Yeah, one line at a time. Get out of here, you beast. It's very true. I would never lie to you. Never. I will only ever try to present myself as pleasable, honorable, and kind of funny. More like funny looking. Kind of like a big head on an oddly shaped, out of character body. Which is weird because I'm absolutely in character, usually. In and out, but I go in and out of different characters. It's like there's no version of me that's actually real. And that's the fun thing too, Daniel, that you can try, is you can just try making friends with yourself. I am my own best friend. Yeah. And that's why I can only ever let myself down. Oh, yeah, right, something like that. You guys are cracking me up. I can't even read. Hey, Internet. You conquered Africa. Well, they conquered me too, mate. I mean, this was like 1,300 years ago. I mean, there were aliens there at that time, and I beat the hell out of those little bastards. They weren't green at all. They were actually this color. salmon. Is Daniel here? Yeah, Daniel's here. Happiness starts with, it really does, Daniel. Because it's got to start somewhere, and it might as well start here because you start there as well. And that's where you come into play. And that's what makes you so important. And don't let anybody ever tell you different. Each one of us is. It's like the opposite of what Fight Club says, you know? It's like you aren't, you're what does he say? With the megaphone. Where's my megaphone? Let's see. Oh. You are all unique snowflakes, and I love you, and I will support you till the end of time. Does it work? It doesn't work. Well, there it goes. But yeah, life is strange. And it's weird too when you get old enough to like realize that you've like lived it. Even by the time I was 26 or 27, I had already like lived 5 lives, it felt like. Because I would live in a certain area for a while, like a town or a state. I lived in 3 different states and whatever throughout my life. And it's a pen. You know, it feels, and you have a different group of friends, or I did anyways, sort of, you know. It just feels like a different life. And based on the area of town you live in, or the kind of friends you have, or yada yada, a different version of you is born every time, you know. And I think for me, a lot of those versions collide, because sometimes it was like, oh yeah, no, this area is sketchy, I gotta be a scrapper. But especially when I drank, I was a freaking animal. But when I quit drinking, that was when I realized how important creating was, instead of trying to destroy everything. Because I tried to destroy everything, including myself, and it didn't work. And I was thinking, well shit, if I'm gonna still be alive, I might as well be doing something cool. And making art is cool. Making friends is cool. Running this YouTube channel is cool too. Me and all the people, me and every... I forgot about that. I'm by myself. We think it's cool because we get to meet new and interesting people all the time. And I get to show off my stupid art and my wonderful smile. And just like L is, you know, it means you're an angel. You know, I get to meet all these crazy angels. They just come and go. Right as I said that, I don't know if that's like synchronicity or serendipity or something. I don't know. But I remember last year before the party store went out of business, I bought angel wings. And I just happened to look over there, and they were like hidden behind this. Right when I said angel, I saw these. My friend Luna, we used to play in rock bands and stuff. We used to play in a rock band together, me and my friend Luna. Not the Luna on here, which is odd because they were friends in Boise. But my friend Luna, different Luna from the one that is on here all the time. But from the same town, it's kind of funny. But my friend Luna, the other one, anyways, played bass and wore angel wings whenever we performed. And look, it's just angel wings. It's just angel wings. So I'm gonna go put these on, and I think what I might do, I don't know, it'd be like the best time to rob a bank, I think. So I might try to do that, or maybe even find somebody named Rob and have him do it, because I think that's how that works, right? Isn't that what they mean by fire at will? Poor Will, what has he done? That's why if I was named William, I would never let somebody call me Will. Absolutely not. Get off me. That was quite the ding. Absolutely not. That's so stupid. I'm embarrassed for myself. It's okay, everybody. I'm gonna die someday. But not today. You take you take drugs no more? Oh, good. Some people shouldn't. I don't drink. It's not the other drugs that drove me to it, to what happened the last night I ever drank. But I wear a reminder around my neck, so I'll never forget. But that's also what the tattoo represents. Alcohol was evil to me, or I was evil for it. I don't know which was worse, or if there's any difference. But other things do different things, and so I again, you know, they're like tools for me. But alcohol was a means to an end. It was and I miss it. I think about it all the time, and how easy it would be to just start again. I'm out. I'll be right back, everybody. Does anybody want something from the store? I'm gonna go get some ice cream. Anyways, I know it's a stupid ass joke, but it's been 14 years since I've had a drink. This October it'll be 14 years. So, anyways, I'm not saying do drugs or anything like that. I'm just saying know yourself and don't judge others too harshly. I think when you get to know yourself, you judge others less harshly. When you truly get to be honest with yourself, Because that's when you really start changing. Chocolate milk. Oh, I want some chocolate milk. Wait, you got some? Who said that? You guys are always talking about chocolate milk. Check this out. I've been asking Terry for chocolate milk for 37 years, and sharing is caring. You're sharing is caring. Now I'm pretty honest about stuff like that. Except, and I would be a lot more upfront with stuff. Except that I don't think it would be responsible of me to talk about drug use, especially in a positive light. Like a lot of it would be, because there was weird shit. Obviously, there was things I did when I drank that I could talk about, like how I would throw myself off of buildings, like into trees, and just destroy my body, thinking I could fly. And people would be like, "How old are you?" I'm like 37. No, I quit drinking when I was 33, but I would just black out and be walking sideways down like The Exorcist or something. It was like the movie The Exorcist. My friends would see me and they wouldn't even recognize me. They'd walk right past me because it was somebody else took over my body, and it wanted me out of the way. And I'm lucky to be alive because of it. So I've had a long 14 years to learn more about myself, but I would say in the past 5 years, it's been a crash course in because I started listening a few years ago. I started listening to hold on a second. I just want to see if this fits. Yeah, almost. Okay, we're almost there. I just want to get kind of serious just for a second. A few years ago, I started listening to all this music. I can't open my lips. Hold on. That's not what I was doing with it. By the way, I started listening to. I was kind of in a really sad state of mind, and just kind of wore out with it all. And I started listening to music that I hadn't listened to since I was 12, 13 years old or whatever. Oh, somebody, I'm on that. Life without poison, drink from the age of 14 to 35. Yeah, I started when I was 21. But I guess everybody stops for different reasons and does things for obviously for different reasons. Everybody's an individual. Everybody's story is that much different, you know. But there's always like a hole trying to be filled. That's the common thread. There's a hole that we're trying to fill with whatever that is, you know. For me, there's a lot of holes. It's like in the movie The Burbs, you know, when he looks out the back window and it's like storming outside, it's nighttime and stuff, and he looks and the neighbors are in the backyard just like digging frantically these holes and shit. That's my mind. Ever since I was a child, I've had these burning questions, you know, these unanswerable questions, and I think it was probably hard for my parents to kind of deal with a kid like me. They didn't know nobody knew what to do with a kid like me. I was never like a cooties kid or something like that, like goo goo gaga. Like I came out and I'm like, okay, what's this all about? Tell me, answers, please. And nobody had them. And then you're like forced to make up your own answers, and then they get mad at you or they make fun of you, and they tell you that you're ugly or something like that if you. But you know how it is, you know. Everybody's because then you get bullied or whatever if you're just like a little bit different or. But even if you're not different, you get bullied. So, just life is life, and it happens to all of us, and it's not pretty sometimes, most of the time. And in the end, it gets really wild. That's the craziest thing too. Being aware and you know, I would like to go 100% sober, 100, and just because I've done it before, but like actually, and I'm sure this would change, but I stopped smoking green for like a month, like you know, 8 years ago or something. It was a month, and but I didn't want to draw. I just didn't want to draw. I was content having dinner and watching TV and just watching a movie and falling asleep. Um, not that I think that would have changed because I didn't need it when I was a kid. You know, I didn't need drugs when I was a kid. But I definitely have an addictive personality, and I make excuses for things, and it's silly because I would like to see what I could do with a clear and you know open, sober mind. It's just that those holes need to be filled still. And I can only do so many cold turkeys at a time. But yeah, right after I quit drinking, it was October 6th, 2011. And about, yeah, a year later, I guess, in 2012, December, I quit smoking cigarettes. Um, but then I started smoking squirrel poop. And it's just like how it sounds. It's squirrel shit. It's just clogs up the pipe. It clogs up the arteries. I was on that stuff for 39 years. I was gonna say nearly 39 years, but I stuck to just a 39-year straight record of smoking squirrel poop. I don't recommend it to anybody. You can live on it. It tastes like squirrel poop. You know, just kind of gross. But so yeah, whoever's on a journey like that, or living on the edge, I swear it was like there was just something in me like that would take over when I drank too, where I had to like just test myself. I was like, all right, let's do this. If you die, you're weak. You know, like this other thing I would be, I would wake up at home like the next day, like fucking like a werewolf or something. You know, I wake up the next day like naked in my bed, and I'm like, I got all these marks all over me, and I'm like, what the hell did I do last night? And that's got to be where like werewolf, like early werewolf lore came from and stuff. You know, plus full moons do weird stuff, but there were so many times when I would wake up in my bed the next day, and sometimes without even a hangover at all or something. Like I drank a bunch of water before I went to bed and took a few aspirin or something. And so when I woke up, I'm like zing, but I'm like, oh, ow, and like I have burns on me. I used to burn my body with cigarettes. I used to cut myself up, and I would just hit things with my head and try to jump into windows and off of bridges, and I don't know how. I've never, my back is all messed up, but I don't know how I never broke a bone or like got stabbed broke a rib, you know. Just years and years and years of self destruction, crazy. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I'm not looking for pity or anything. I'm just saying, because I know everybody, like I said, everybody has their own journey. And it's important to remember that you can change and you can conquer those demons and you can become the one who has creative control. And even then, you can still whip those demons out sometimes when you need them, but it's called integrating with your shadow, You can't ignore it, otherwise it gets more powerful. You've got to confront them and make it your own. Twist things. Obviously trauma is not that, I'm not talking about trauma or anything like that, but now I'm gonna have to start charging you. I'm sorry, but, or how about I talk, you listen, you take notes, I'll pay you, okay? Okay. When I was a child, we used to, ride bikes everywhere. Out in the country. We'd be riding our bikes past horses. Big fields, hundreds of acres of fields. And you would see these horses off in the distance. And they would just come running. You would call their names because you knew them. And they would just come running over to you, like from hundreds of yards away. Just snorting and farting and pooping and scooping. And it was the best of times, my friends. That's right, Therma. That's absolutely right. Therma's the water heater. Whirlpool. Classy. Anyways, sorry. I know I'm on the clock. What else? I have daddy issues. Yeah. I've got daddy issues. And some of his boots. Daddy's shoes, and some of his boots are around here somewhere. But I have a lot of I have daddy's shoes as well. Lots of them. Some of them just have one on the left, but that's not right, because on the right, because it's not right, because left is not right. It doesn't matter. I had a puppy once. His name was Goblin. He tried to kill me. Little bastard. He tried to kill me. I've never told anybody that. I don't know how you're getting me to talk about this stuff, man. How are you? Is this your guitar? Do you mind if I? Oh. Alright. I don't know. I don't know how to play. I just saw the guitar. I just like messing around like. Welcome to the session. Storygraph draw session. Oh, I'm looking the goddamn clock again. Playing on your 6-string guitar. And I've got a song in my heart. That just makes me feel like it's about summertime. It's not even August and it doesn't even feel like summertime yet. I just don't even want to sing, or I don't want to dance anymore. Just because of one goddamn puppy. It wasn't my fault. It was the 80s. Picking on me, I kicked him right in his little head. His head exploded. His head exploded. Okay, that's enough for today. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you're taking notes, please write them down in the chat. Let me know what I said, and let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I don't think it matters much. I think we're all just a little bit crazy. Ah, son of a... this bench bites back. I just wanted to sit up. I just wanted to get at your level and let y'all know that I love you so much. Yep. Yep. I painted a portrait of that puppy right before his head exploded. About 5 minutes before that, and there's something like that. He's a Chihuahua. He sort of looked like Donald Duck, just a little bit. But that was coming right at me, and I just kicked it right in the head, and it exploded everywhere. This is the shirt. This happened like 20 minutes ago. I ain't lying. I mean, there's blood. It's everywhere. It was all over the place. It was just. So I had to change shirts right before I came on the air. And then, yep, Mama's cooking up some barbecue. Sounds pretty good. We're gonna have applesauce gum tartar drops if anybody wants to come in and have some of those. We got puppy briskets and puppy legs, and I forget what kind of puppy it was. I don't think it was a big puppy. Oh, puppy, got what you deserved. But I know what's not on the menu is puppy head, because that head is just absolutely gone. Absolutely disgusting. Well, Mir, nobody's ever asked me that before. Before I answer that, let me answer it with the song. I just saw Fart Nuggets entered the chat. Hello, Farty. Black Mirror asked what kind of books are on my shelf. All right. Just a bunch of art books. I know I don't look like much of a stereotypical kind of, one of them hip critter looking, critter from another critter from another critter from another litter. Critter from another litter. Damn it. But I'm down with the cause, and pretty much every single one of those books is about art. That's the only thing I care about. I'll show you. That way, you don't have to take my word for it. We've got our crumb. Well, I also like Chariots of the Gods and that kind of stuff too. But up here there's Frankenstein, Night of the Living Dead, Clara Gordon's, Avatar, Rome, and then Twilight Zone, Akira. I don't know if I can get copywritten for this. Akira on VHS. Crumb, Bible, Francis Bacon, Eric von Däniken, X-Men, Francis Bacon, Egyptian mythology, Beatles, Dylan Thomas, Paul Bunyan, The Cubist Epoch. It's like a story of like Cubism. Vanishing Wildlife was a book my dad had on his shelf that I stole because there's a wolf in it that I absolutely love. That's in one of my drawings. So I stole the whole book. Wasn't gonna rip the page out. Green Eggs and Ham, Dr. Seuss, Egyptian magic, UFOs, Cat in the Hat, Greek art, anatomy, Mount Shasta mysteries, the Quran, Grey's Anatomy, Art in Theory, The Shining, African Designs. This is one of my favorite books ever. This is a wonderful book, African Designs. There's like so many. I don't know if I'll get copywritten, but I got more Paul Bunyan, Indian art, Beatles lyrics, Paul Bunyan, immortal poems, famous sheriffs and outlaws of the Old West. That's where I found out about I was a character called Harry Tracy for like 6 years or something like that. When I was 23 to like 28 or something. I went by Harry Tracy, an outlaw that's in this book, a real outlaw. Then this is about the brain, the power of myth with Joseph Campbell, more Beatles, Egyptian mythology, magic, Encyclopedia of Magic. There's more books in other places. I'm sure there's other books in the world, but they're not here. No, I have a lot more stacked up too somewhere, but big ones. But they're just more art books that I can't show you. Otherwise, I'll get copied. I'll get copied by the aliens, and they'll assimilate my flesh, and I won't be me anymore. And I really do. I appreciate being me. I want to be myself as much as possible, as much as I possibly can. That's why I don't go out, and that's why I don't party. I don't go out and I don't party. I just repeated exactly. Never mind. Doesn't matter. But I do think I must go. I appreciate the company. I keep looking at myself. I should be looking up there. I do. I appreciate the company. Only a few more books in the world to get. Yeah. Man, that's the thing. You ever think about the Vatican and all the things that were, let alone all the things throughout history, all the codexes and all the hidden meanings and all the crazy there was such an insane amount of knowledge in the past that was burned and gone now, the Library of Alexandria kind of stuff, right? But there's still so much, and I think that there's a lot more still like hidden, but also like in the Vatican. Imagine going down there and just being able to spend like a week going down there every day and like checking things out, because it's like miles of stuff, and they have like a UFO down there in like a laboratory where you're walking by and these like people are holding these things and they're like watching you like walk by, and there's some alien like, no, help, or the alien's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You never know. Some aliens are down with it, and I think that's fine to think about. I like aliens, and I like to think that they're down with it, as long as between consenting species, I'm not one to judge. Heck, my name's Story Club. I didn't come to judge. I just came to jury. Jury duty, that is. These caps are really hard to get on. Jeez. I feel like if I were to edit out those moments where I'm drinking or getting a cap on, there would be no show. There would absolutely, I would have spoken 5 words. I know. Yeah, the Vatican is crazy. But that's what I think is sort of coming. I think with all the, because like there's been like I keep saying this, but it's just some, because it's in my dreams and stuff, but I feel like there's like an awakening coming, and there's so many. I don't know if you guys watch or have heard of Ross Coulthart, but he interviews all. He's like a reporter from Australia and Sky News Australia or something like that. But he he interviews all these people, and there's like Jeremy Corbell and um uh oh my gosh, what's his name? The reporter. Um, I want to say Graham Nash for some reason. For beautiful mind, but yeah, there's just so much information coming out with UAPs, and there's all these really interesting videos that are coming out of them being spotted and stuff, and I think it's just like seriously a matter of time before they just come out and just tell us that this is happening. And I think that they would hold off as long as they could. When I say they, I don't know who they are, but I have a good idea. I shouldn't say anything else. But I have a feeling that they don't want it to happen, because obviously they're just trying to suck up every last little bit of, resource that they can before, or control, before something like that happens. I mean, and even then, it doesn't even have to be an alien invasion or anything, but like just the knowledge that that they actually have this sort of technology, and that they've had technology that could change our world overnight for decades now, and they just haven't done it because of profit. They've held. They do this with life. with cures for certain disease, or like, treatments, and, you know, and if you need evidence of that, all you have to do is look at, with the price of insulin in America. What good is anything if what good is having the medicine if it's not going to people that need it, that without it they would not be able to live? What kind of world is that? And there's this part there. I don't feel like we can go much further before just something just snaps, big time. And before that happens, I'm hoping and I'm feeling that something is on its way. And it sort of reminds me of that movie Independence Day. We will not give up. We will not go quietly into the night. Today is July 19th or something. Okay. But I don't know. If you were at all curious about UFOs like I am, I've always been curious about them because I dream about them and stuff. Um, and like UAPs and things. There's so much. People are always like, "Where's the evidence?" And I'm like, I can't have a conversation with somebody who's like, "Where's the evidence?" It's you're never gonna go. You're never gonna talk to people like whatever. It's worth talking to people who actually are like, "Oh yeah, I'm down," and you're like, "You're down? I'm down." "Oh, you're down? I'm down. I'm down too. I know you're down. Oh, I am. I'm down. I know. I'm down." Um, because there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot, and then there's eyewitness testimony from like people who, you know, just very very high ranking people, and like people that we, consider to be professionals in their professions and whatever. I just want to meet an alien, man. Golly gosh darn dang. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I just want to meet an alien. Sometimes you have to look at yourself in the mirror too and realize, oh wait, it's not that I want to meet an alien. I already am an alien. And I think that's why I feel so homesick. I was actually working on something. These are the stick figures that I've been working on. This is Larry. That's stick figure 1 down there. And this is Boxman, also known as Tulip Head. But people got it confused with Moped. They thought it was my character called Moped. But this is Tulip Head on top and Larry on the bottom. I just wanted to show that off because I know that everybody's going to be very impressed. In love, then transfer deep. In connection. But what is happening? I was thinking about, because I'm not going to be able to sit here and draw on this now. It's kind of, for me, it's sort of hard to go back and forth. If I'm drawing, it's got to be like, I've got to be in there, digging away. I can't, I'll stop and talk and stuff, but I can't just start dancing like a monkey. Or can I? No, I can't. So, this is the best I got. Oh, yeah, there you go. This is the best I got. When they say don't quit your day job. Oh, god damn, they mean it. Did you see that? You know how to throw a pen down like hard without doing it? Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I just killed. Oh, crap. I didn't even see the rat, but there's a rat going by, and the pen went down there and hit the rat and killed it. Did you? Oh no, you guys are facing. What the? How did the weight of the pen kill the rat? And where did the rat come from? Mother, are you there? Well, I've got to figure out something. I think either my mom is setting like rats loose in the garage again, or there's some kind of witch. I've been bewitched by the devil. And as much as I want to say that I'm okay with that, I don't think I am. I'm not comfortable being bewitched by any kind of demonic thing. Warlock, witch, or anybody named anything with like Wendy or Waffle Head. I like waffles. But no waffles tonight for me. No, thank you very much. 39 years to get a new pencil. That's the thing. I have tons of pencils. I don't use pencils. I don't use pencils. They give me tons of pencils every year, more and more and more. Number twos. I got number twos coming up my ears. uh, but I don't use the damn things. They get all over your hand. You're drawing and it smudges. It gets wet. It smears all over the place. You can't have that when it comes to good. I'm an artist. I'm a professional. What goes down stays down. That's what happens. Lappens. Oh shoot! Paper cut. Everybody, paper cut. Paper. Oh, that's right. I'm alone. I'm alone. But I have a megaphone. And some liquid. I don't know what the hell this thing is. I got it. I have it. And I have you. Sorry, I'm just being a dork. Pencils, I know. I was immediately thinking of that. What is it, Ween? That album cover, where there's a pencil just. Oh God, man. Or anytime there's a movie, or like with anything with the ears, it's like, actually, my because I think I've told the story on here before, so you know, it's kind of gruesome. But my older brothers were like gnarly dudes. my there's two. I have two older brothers, stepbrothers. But when they were young, Augie, the younger of the two, Augie, he had just, told on his brother or something like that, got him in trouble. So Augie was in the bathroom cleaning out his ear, and Mike walked by the bathroom and like slapped the freaking Q-tip into his ear, and he like, he lost the hearing in his, he like burst the ear canal and stuff. It makes my ear hurt just to think about that. And they're probably like in their early teens or something like that. They used to try to like, and then in their older, when they got older, it was still the same too. I remember when I was about 15 or 16, they showed up at, Augie showed up at my place, me and my stepdad, my mom's house, and he and Mike had just like tried to kill each other over some girl. God. And Augie, we were on the way to the ER, and he had cut him. He had like cut when he broke a beer bottle over at the counter. Went after Mike, our older brother, with a broken beer bottle. But in doing that, he like cut his hand open and stuff, and and he had a huge gash on his hand. On the way to the hospital, he's like, "Look, Sean, look," because he was like digging into the hole, into the wound, essentially. It was like an open gash, and I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Fuck, don't, man." I'm better at with like blood and stuff like that than most people. I don't know why, but that was gross. It was kind of messed up. Butthole surfers. Thank you. Yep. I think it was Butthole Surfers. Yeah, Electric Larryland, I think. Isn't that what it was called? Guten Tag, Daniel. I love you. Be safe out there. And take it easy. Be kind to yourself. I gotta go too. So, yeah. All y'all be good to yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. That's how things will get better for all of us in the long run. The long run. And it can be. I don't ever want to get to a point where it's just flying by anymore, you know? I want to be able to just soak it up. It gets hard. But it's important to try. To stop and smell the flowers from time to time. Okay. Well, you all be careful. You be safe. Yeah, and what Daniel said, spread some love.